Live. I'm Jerry Katzman. We're here with Ron Victor, Bayron Lopez, and Jordan Crow, talking about IoTium and talking about how both Kilroy and Spire use it. And Ron, if you would, just give our viewers a little bit of background about IoTium, please.
Yes, IoTium is a 4-year-old company. Infrastructure as a managed service for the entire building automation industry. 3 problems solved in a complete, offered fully as a managed service. The first problem, managing a secure remote access into the building. How can you provision, authenticate, manage, and audit which technician from which vendor accessed what building, touched what application at what time, and have an audit trail completely available. Very big problem for the building automation world, solved completely as a managed service. Second problem, how do I take data from my buildings, my BMS system, my lighting system, my access control system, my CO2 monitoring system, send it to an application in a data center or a cloud where I can now do analytics with it, give a better occupancy experience, run my building more efficiently, etc. And the third problem that we solve is, okay, I want to deploy this application to my building. How can I, with one click, deploy any application at the edge across my entire building portfolio of 100 buildings? So we have a methodology by which from the cloud, you can deploy encryption, compression, dedupe, DPI, machine learning, AI, ML, through all our application partners, etc. That's what we do.
Fantastic. Well, intense and great. So tell us a little bit about how you're using IoTium.
So our issue initially was we have a bunch of buildings and we have a bunch of people who need to access those buildings, but securely.
Yeah.
So everything that was out there was really cumbersome. It was very piecemeal, and so when I found Ron's solution, it was a no-brainer. It was easy for me to manage. It was secure, and I had no doubt about that. I mean, they proved that time and time again, and so. That was really our start with it, and then it really provides a foundation for us to go forward for the data analytics and that kind of thing.
Do you remember the first moment in the testing phases where you said, well, let's give this a try, where you went, dang, this is the real deal?
Me personally, it's like I told Ron, there was no selling for me. I understood the product. I knew it immediately. We needed this. It would be a great foundation going forward.
How about for you? Was there a moment where you went, I'm a believer?
So for us, we actually took about a year before we went to IoTium to kind of figure out if we could actually build the product ourselves and see what we can do internally as an IT department. We shopped around different vendors. When we met IoTium and Ron, it kind of clicked for us. And it was one of those things where we said, if we were building this, this is how we would do it.
Right.
So it actually met the requirements that we already had in hand so that we could actually deploy a network securely to our buildings.
How does this beat solutions that are similar?
I mean, for us, it was the ease of deployment, having a partner. So like Ron said, I can have one of my engineers take a box, connect it to the internet, and we're up and running.
Right.
There's some steps that you still have to do with your building engineers to get that up and running, but it's an easy deployment. A lot of support, professional service provided to them. For us, it's become a good security tool, an appliance, and as we're putting that foundation for security for all of our buildings, we're now growing and adding more services, more sensors, more functions and analytics on top of that. So.
Ron, how did you do that? What were some of the challenges toward creating such an ease of use in your product?
When you look at IT needs of the OT world with an IT lens, and then we look at IT needs for the OT world with an OT lens, the problem is very, very clear to you. If you look at it with an IT lens, you will think about a carpeted environment, Cisco box, Palo Alto box, VMware box, integrated together, send IT person out in the field, DNS equal to 192.1.1.1. In the OT world, that doesn't happen. The building automation technician doesn't know DNS equal to 190.1.1.
Right.
You can't connect 45 boxes. You got to drop ship an appliance, plug it in, and turn it on.
Wow.
That's the fundamental difference.
How did you know that? How did you have the wisdom?
I worked on aluminum smelters, copper refineries, and zinc tank houses for 4 years before starting IoTium.
Wow.
We wanted to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And to do that, we built sensors and tried to connect all of this together. That's when this problem was really obvious to us.
Wow. Jordan, same thing or a slightly different experience? How did it go for you starting to deploy this?
So for us, like I said, it was simply just a need. It was, hey, listen, and it's like Bayron said, it was one of those things when I found it, it was, hey, if I were doing this, this is exactly how I would do it. That's why there was really no selling for me. I just knew that we needed it.
Let's talk trends. Where is this heading?
I think for us, security is the biggest piece, but on top of that, now with all these sensors, analytics, all these smarts coming out, right? There's so many things that you can add to a building. We now have a platform that we can add all these devices to.
Yeah.
Before they were all dispersed networks, different things. Now we have a consolidated, secure piece that we can start layering and layering and layering, and now it's unlimited for us to be able to go wherever we need to.
Very cool. Jordan, what are you guys excited to add to
So
this?
for us, the question that we ask ourselves is, if I can control my house with my phone, why can't I control my space with my phone?
Sure.
So, how do we do that
Yeah.
securely? The cybersecurity question is the question. Their box is the perfect solution for it.
Ron, what's next? What do you have down the pipe that we don't know about yet?
We will be adding more, let's say discovery. There's discovery as a feature, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in this room says, can you tell me what's on my network? I don't know what's on my network.
Sure.
So we'll be launching that very shortly, etc. So you can now completely discover stuff. So we will stay focused on the infra, so that it's the infrastructure that's horizontal that applies to all these domains, etc., and solve those problems for our partners and our customers, and stay away from domain specific, because the domain specific, these people know it really, really well. They're in the domain, they understand the domain, etc. We just take care of the infra, and we'll keep adding onto that infra more layers of security, more layers of discovery, more layers of encryption, etc.
Fantastic. Any last thoughts about IoTium, Kilroy, or Spire?
I mean, for us, for Kilroy, it's been very important to have a secure platform. Security, cybersecurity is for our needs, and this has met those requirements. So we're excited to go forward and be able to now grow securely and be able to provide that security for our tenants.
100% agree. They really are a partner going forward for secure implementations of things that tenants are asking for.
Well, fantastic. Gentlemen, keep up the good work, and thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you for bringing us.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.